Hello, welcome again once more to my channel. We are at Talanta Stadium today. This is one stadium I've been trying to get access to for a very long time. It's very hard, it's very protected. They really don't allow people inside the stadium that easily. But today I was lucky, I managed to get inside. So here we are. And this is the exterior side of the Talanta Stadium. If you view it now, the shape of the stadium is coming out well. The stadium is actually a rectangle with smooth corners, unlike most stadiums that are coming up right now that are mostly oval or elliptical. This one is a rectangle with smooth corners. So at this point we are at the training ground. We had some clubs, NSL clubs who are training. This is the training ground. It will be modernized once the main stadium is complete. It will be modernized to be the main training ground for clubs training at Talanta Stadium. The stadium is really tall. Actually, if you put it in the CBD, it will be taller than most buildings. This is okay, let's say half of the buildings. This is a 56-meter high stadium. This is the tallest stadium. This is like almost double the height of Kasarani or Benjamin Mkapa. These are the other two big stadiums in the region that are going to host AFCON, and I've been to both of them. When you compare to this, they are wider, but this one is much way taller. It's way taller, which is an advantage because it takes lesser space. So this is the stadium itself. It is very tall and imposing, to be honest. It can be seen from Gong Road from very far. Actually, even people who are driving along Gong Road can see it. And when I arrived today, they were just preparing to start doing the roof. You can see that crane over there, the green crane. The green crane, it was brought the other day. I was told it was a celebration. Actually, there was a party when it was brought. According to the workers around, they said it is the first crane of that kind to be in Kenya. I'm not sure if that is true because I can swear I saw such kind of crane when they were constructing the expressway, and I've seen it constructing several other buildings, but I don't know, maybe this one is bigger because they were claiming this is the first of its kind to be in the country. And when it was brought around, there was a lot of celebration. That is this, the crane will be used to do the roof. The roof is set to start commence immediately. When I arrived, they were actually preparing to do the roof. Most of the concrete structure, if not all of it, is complete. You can see it looks exactly the shape of the stadium as in the renders is now very visible. And you can see from the outside there are so many staircases. Climbing the Talanta Stadium to the top is a tiresome job, let me tell you. I hope they put lifts inside this stadium, many lifts, so that everybody can have access. You know, in Kasarani and Benjamin Mkapa, I noticed lifts are only for VIP. Most of the fans just use the staircases, which is not really a hard thing because those stadiums are short. This one is tall. This one is like an 18-floor building. Imagine climbing an 18-floor building without a lift from ground to top. That is what it feels to try to climb to the topmost seats. If you book the ticket of the topmost seat in Talanta Stadium, that is what you will have to deal with, an 18-floor building. So here we are. One thing I noticed about Talanta Stadium, this is the inside of Talanta Stadium. One thing I noticed about Talanta Stadium when you compare to the other 60,000 stadiums in the region that are going to host AFCON is that most of the inside space is utilized. There's a lot of space. You can even They can even put offices in this stadium and have people rent it so that it can be an office block during the weekdays and a stadium during the weekend. There's so much room. There's so much room for partitioned rooms. Actually, there is so much partitioned room in the stadium. So this is the ground surface. The pad you see around that pad will be demolished once the construction is over. The concrete pad. It's normally constructed to allow vehicular traffic that is transporting materials, because they're normally very heavy vehicles. It is normally constructed to allow them to move around and deliver materials, heavy materials, to the contractors. When I was in Arusha, the Arusha Stadium, that track, it's called a roadway track. When I was in Arusha, the roadway track was outside the stadium. It ran around the perimeter of the stadium. But in Talanta, it is inside the ground. I don't know whether there was one inside Arusha, but there was there was one outside. It ran around the stadium. Some contractors normally use what we call temporary roadway mats. They just come with some something like checkered plates, and they lay it around so that vehicles can use it to deliver material, and once construction is done, they remove it. It is called a temporary roadway mat. But here they constructed a concrete one, which will be demolished once they are done with the major works, and they're doing the minor finishings, and then they want to do the ground. So this is it. You can see so many pillars. This stadium is very, very differently designed when you compare it to the other two stadiums that are of 60,000 capacity that will be hosting AFCON. You can see the pillars. The pillars are really, really wide. They are round. In Kasarani, both Kasarani and Benjamin Mkapa preferred rectangular columns, but here they are going with round columns. It's just a preference, nothing much to it. So these are some of the crawler cranes that are used to lift material to the top during construction. And there is the concrete pump and the crawler cranes, and that there is the Ngong Forest Reserve. The stadium is constructed in a very serene environment, as you can see, and it's very high, so you can when the fans are climbing towards their game, they can get a chance to view some of the sceneries of the city, around the city. That is the other training ground. We have two training grounds here. This one is the other one. It's not it doesn't have a running track, but once the main stadium is complete, they will demolish the training grounds and rebuild them to a more modern, give them a more modern taste and improve the ground. So this is what the stadium looks like from up high above. It's really, really high, and climbing this stadium, if you are scared of heights like me, it's very, very steep. You feel like you can fall over. It's very, very steep. You know, it is a more compact stadium. It covers a smaller area than Kasarani, and much smaller than Benjamin Mkapa, which is the widest stadium in the region currently. So this one is more compact and very steep, but when you climb up here, you can tell that this stadium is exceptional. The steepness, though it can be uncomfortable for someone who is scared of heights, but it gives some kind of environment that you won't feel in Kasarani or Benjamin Mkapa or Nyayo Stadium or any most of these stadiums you are used to. You feel like you are up there, but you feel like the ground is much closer to you, and you can view it very well. And you can tell the noise will be different. In these wider stadiums, you can't hear the fans from the other side, from the opposite side, but this one you feel like you're so close. The stadium is incomplete, but you feel like you're so close to everywhere in the stadium. And like I told you, this structure is very tall. Standing up here, you can get views of the city from up here. It's very high, 56 meters to be precise. That is very tall for a stadium, because that is like an 18-floor building, the height of an 18-floor residential building. The stadium has 3 tires, as you can see. It is coming out. It shows exactly the way the renders. It has come out exactly the way the renders showed. Some people felt like they will bring something. Some of these government projects, what they show you and what they provide is normally something very different. But in this case, whatever they are providing, whatever they are constructing, is very much the same as what was promised. What you can see from the opposite side, those are the Ngong Hills that stand above the city of Nairobi. Those are the Ngong Hills. You can see them when you are standing on the upper terraces of the stadium. The stadium has 3 tires. The tires, they don't interlock like the ones in Kasarani. Each tire comes after the other, so it's not like one on top of the other. But the stadium will have a more a wider roof, so even people sitting on the lowest tires, they won't suffer a lot of rain. If it starts raining during a match, they won't suffer as much as let's say Kasarani, because if you look from the renders, the canopy is much wider. The canopy is much wider. So you can see this beam right here that goes around the stadium. This beam, it will act as the base for the curtain walling. I think this will be the first stadium in Kenya to have a curtain walling. There is no stadium in Kenya right now that has a curtain walling. This one has a very beautiful curtain walling, and that beam, you can see it's very wide and very thick. It will be where they will install the curtain walling on top of that beam. And you can see the crane that I talked about. They are calling it Mnyama around here. They said it is the one of its kind. It is the first one of its kind in the country. I'm not sure about that, but that is what they told me. It is the first one of its kind. Like I said, the stadium is very roomy. Very little space is wasted. There are very many. I don't know. Most of them will be shops, but I think there will still be too much room. I think this stadium provides too much room. I don't know. You can even convert this into offices for rent, and people can use it as their office block during